So we got the prediction for Howard versus Norfolk State this weekend. The game kicks off at 2 p.m. at Norfolk State. Going into the game, Howard enters it at 3-4 after a discouraging homecoming loss against Tennessee State, and Norfolk State is coming off a bye week. I think both teams favor the run. When we look at the stats, both teams entered the game at number 2 and number 3 in conference in rushing yard. Howard is at the number 2 spot, and Norfolk State is at number 3. When you look at that backfield, they pretty much add up. I mean, Howard has guys like Jared Hunter and Eden James. Jared Hunter is third in the MEAC in rushing yards at 551 yards rushing. And then Norfolk State has Kevon King, which is the number 4 leading rusher in the MEAC at 518 yards. Behind them, on Howard's side, you got Eden James, who could take it a distance on any given carry. And then on Norfolk's side, you got Xavier Evans, who showed to be a bright spot as well. So when it comes to the backfield, I think they match up. Whichever team is able to establish their run and be dominant in that aspect so that the passes can come in and complement the run, I think that team is ultimately going to be the one that wins. Because when you look at the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks are young and experienced. On Howard's side, you got Jason Scroggins, who isn't coming off his best game against Tennessee State. I think his stats for that game was like 6 of 21 for 33 yards, 2 interceptions. I don't think that displayed who he is or who he's capable of being, but, you know, you will hope that that past game will give him the motivation to come out, you know, accurate and on point into this game going into Norfolk State. When you look at Norfolk State's quarterback, you got Vincent Berry, who is a freshman quarterback, playing in for injured Jalen Daniels. He did a good job on the most recent game against Towson. His stats for that game, I think it was like 16 for 31, over 200 yards, and then a touchdown. To me, he looks calm in the pocket. So if the game has to come down to passing the ball, I'm favoring a little bit more Norfolk State. But I think if it's just overall passing run, I'm thinking Howard has a little more edge, a little more motivation for wanting to win. Coming off a homecoming loss to then be scheduled for another team's homecoming at their field. So I'm thinking Howard walks away with this one. Defensively, they pretty much match up. You are dealing with 3 of the MEAC's leading tacklers in Kenny Gallup for Howard. You got A.J. Richardson for Norfolk State, and then you got Tariq Miles for Norfolk State as well. So should be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a close game. Last year was a close game, but this one I'm taking Howard again. And make sure y'all tune in at 2 p.m. at Norfolk State, and let me know what y'all think.